This is our garden. This is my radish that I planted.
This is Selena Alvarez's garden. It's a shared space at the back of the RV park where she lives with her boyfriend. They used to park their RV on the street until they moved here.
We have 86 RVs here. I have a lot of people calling me, I need you to put more spaces at your RV park. It's not enough.
Victoria Garibaldi runs the show here at the Berryessa Safe Parking site in San Jose.
I do this because I myself was homeless as well. So I know what it's like to not have a shower, to not have food.
In Santa Clara County, home to Apple, Google, and 8 of America's 50 most expensive zip codes, the number of people living in RVs full-time in the region has surged. County data shows the portion of homeless individuals sleeping in vehicles has more than doubled since the pandemic, from 18% in 2019 to 37% in 2025. These aren't adventure-seeking van lifers who opt to live in vans for freedom. It's a way to find shelter in a state that's short up to 3.5 million housing units.
When you stand back and look at California, you see two crises at once. You see not enough housing, and that has inflated home prices and created the 5th highest rate of homelessness in the United States. And then layered on top of that, we have one of the lowest inventories of shelter available for people who become homeless. So in other words, in California, you're more likely to become homeless than almost any other state. And when you do, you're more likely to become homeless on the streets rather than in the shelter than almost any other state.
This RV lot opened just a year ago and now is among the largest in the state of California with a full wait list. It represents one city's answers to a growing crisis of RV homelessness, in which individuals without homes live long-term in RVs. Others park their RVs on city streets, and some don't even own the RVs they're living in. Instead, they rent them from an underground market of Vanlords. For renters, it's one of the few options between communal shelters and the streets. But advocates and lawmakers say the arrangement is often exploitative, with no tenant protections, and landlords able to demand payment or threaten eviction at will.
The person confides in you that this person is extorting them for a large sum of money, $500-600 a month, to use their RV. And they'll come to me and tell me, hey, this person hasn't paid me rent. I want to come in and kick them out. I don't let them on the site or on the property. If they are in a vanlording situation, I make them a priority. I tell the case manager, look, this person is about to lose their RV, and that's all they have.
CNBC spoke to one vanlord and several individuals renting out RVs in varying states, some very well kept, others falling apart. None agreed to appear on camera as the issue is contentious and in some cases illegal. San Jose enacted a law last year to crack down on the practice of vanlording, banning people from renting out RVs as housing on city streets.
When people rent in apartments, there are rules they must follow, there are tenant rights, but renting in an RV doesn't really have the same protections, and it's very damaging for the people who are renting.
Cohen says there's also pushback in neighborhoods where RV communities have become entrenched. The city now has 2 safe parking sites that can house up to 128 RVs at a time.
We are trying to walk that balance between offering services, keeping our streets safe, and making sure that there are resources available for people who need it.
That's where this site comes in. It's funded by a city grant and is run through We Hope, a local homelessness nonprofit. Residents are provided a parking space for their RV for free.
I really like it here. They give us, they provide dinner, they provide breakfast, they provide the showers and the washrooms to wash our clothes and stuff.
Plus the community garden where Selena grows her vegetables, and even a dog park.
Oh, there's Sugar. Hi, Sugar. He's still a puppy, believe it or not. You little ham.
Residents live here as long as they need to while they save money and search for a place of their own. And in exchange, they meet weekly with caseworkers who help them transition into traditional housing. There's no timeline for leaving, but most do within a few months.
Give me a second. Let me know who that is. I don't know who it is. Counselor Garvey, how may I help you?
But not everybody gets access to free parking spots like Selena.
The price is $2,500 per month. That includes all utilities and taxes.
Once a low-cost option for tourists, this RV park in an industrial corner of San Francisco now charges as much for a parking spot as some Bay Area apartments do for rent. It houses people who take on some of the city's toughest jobs: dock workers, janitors, and day laborers. And that $2,500 is just for the spot. It doesn't include the RV itself.
The hardworking people, and they're sort of lower middle class, working class.
In San Francisco, Mayor Daniel Lurie enacted legislation in July to address RV homelessness on city streets, where individuals say people have been tapping into public utilities and leaving debris for others to clean up.
It's unfair to the general community to have these large vehicles that become very large homeless encampments in certain spaces.
There are now 2-hour parking restrictions for large vehicles citywide, with few exceptions. City workers are reaching out to RV dwellers to offer subsidized housing, and permits are being made available for those who are actively engaged and awaiting placement.
We're really trying to mitigate that while helping the people inside.
But until that housing is built, RVs serve as a stopgap.
When you look at who's in these RVs, sometimes it's poor families who are down on their luck, and the RV is their last resort between them and the streets. There's another type of person who believes that they're not homeless. The RV is their home. They just want a safe place to park it, which we don't have. So we should be looking again to RV parks that are well managed and well maintained as a means of providing housing and stability for very low income Bay Area residents. We aren't likely in the near term going to have enough transitional housing or interim housing to move everybody indoors.
Hi, Frank.
Hi.
Tell them how happy you are to be here.
Places like Berryessa offer that stability for the lucky few who get in.
We're all just a couple paychecks away from being on the streets ourselves. You know, in the Silicon Valley, it's a systematic problem, homelessness.